Welcome back to another episode of our Kings related podcast, wherever you may be. And this recap of the Sacramento Kings loss on this Saturday evening to the Milwaukee Bucks, 114 to 108, in a game where the Kings actually they played a solid game through three quarters, but that fourth quarter was the different story for the Kings, as now they are on this 7-game homestand. They are now 2-2 on this homestand following this loss. They are back to 500 overall on the season at 35-35, and Giannis absolutely torched the Kings in that second half of the game. And if you want to look at this game, where the Kings lost this game, they lost this game in that fourth quarter. The Milwaukee Bucks outscored Sacramento 28-19 in that fourth. That is the ball game right there, folks. Plain and simple. That's where the Kings lost this game. And also, the Sacramento Kings did not score another field goal after the 4:24 mark in that fourth quarter. Did not score. And I thought in that fourth, there was a lot of ISO, over isolation, over and over again. No ball movement. Just the ball standing in one place in that fourth. And one complaint I have is, I thought Jake LaRavia played decent tonight, but Keon Ellis was one of your best players in this game. Why was he on the bench in crunch time? Why wasn't Keon Ellis on the floor in crunch time? Because if you look at Keon Ellis in this game tonight, who got the start because Malik Monk was out for illness, Keon Ellis in his 36 minutes, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. He was 6 of 10 from the field. He was 3 of 5 from long range. And he had 3 offensive rebounds. He had 6 defensive rebounds in this game. But Keon was not on the floor late in that game in crunch time. Please tell me why. In my opinion, your best players should be on the floor with the game on the line. And Keon Ellis was one of your best players in this game tonight, but he wasn't on the floor. The Kings also, I thought the Kings took care of the ball tonight. 8 turnovers overall, but also where I think the Kings lost this game besides the fourth is in that first half. I thought they did a really great job at rebounding and not letting Milwaukee get multiple opportunities at the basket on missed shots. I thought the Kings did a great job there at crashing the boards. And that's where I think Milwaukee made the adjustment in the second half out of halftime, because the Kings, they had a 12-point lead at the half, 62-49. A 12-point lead. So just really disappointing loss by the Kings tonight. Well, they played solid enough to win, but now you're back to 500. But as I mentioned, Keon Ellis was really good tonight. And if you look at Keon Ellis in this game for Sacramento, uh, in that first half, the Kings did not shoot the ball well from three. And if you take away I think it was the three or four threes from Keon Ellis, the Kings would have been 1 of 16 from beyond the arc. Like, Keon Ellis in that first half was spectacular. Keon had 18 points. He was 5 of 7 from the field. He was 3 of 4 from three. He had 6 rebounds, 4 assists in 23 minutes. In that first half, but he wasn't good enough to be on the floor in crunch time. One head-scratching decision by Doug Christie and his coaching staff here in this ball game. JV, I thought JV played good enough. I thought JV played much better tonight than he did in that Thursday's game against the Chicago Bulls. He was squaring off with Brook Lopez in a good old-fashioned big man battle, like from back in the day when big men actually were respected on the floor. But Brook Lopez got off to a fast start, who finished with 21 points, 3 rebounds. JV, he kept fighting. He dropped 18 points, 7 rebounds, and a pretty even battle between these two big men in the game. Zach LaVine in this game, after he had what I believe was 9 shot attempts in that game Thursday night against his old team, the Bulls, and where he was a complete non-factor who did not show up in that game when you needed him to. Zach LaVine, 16 points in this game, 7 of 17 shooting, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists in this game as well. Keegan Murray, I thought Keegan got off to a fast start in this game. I thought he was aggressive early on. I'll keep saying it. I think in a aggressive Keegan Murray is a good Keegan Murray. And also I'll say I think Keegan Murray will make all defensive team one day. Like tonight, he drew the really tough assignment defensively of guarding Giannis. And I think it was at the end of the game, he had a block on Giannis, but the ricochet went back to Giannis, kicked it out for pretty much a 3 to pretty much seal this game. But Murray, 13 points, 8 rebounds in this game. And like Keegan pretty much always draws the tough assignment defensively, and he handles it. And tonight was a really tough assignment guarding a former 2-time All Defensive Player of the Year award winner in Giannis. So I thought Keegan played really well in this game for the Kings tonight. DeMar DeRozan continues to float around that 20-point mark each and every game. And he has a knack for getting to his spot like he did tonight. At times, he was taking on the young kid, Rollins. He even got, I think it was Kuzma for a foul for reaching in, and knocking. He was also knocking down the jumper. DeRozan, he was 8 of 18 from the field, 22 points, 4 assists, in this game. And I thought late in this game, where the Kings went to a lot of the isolation over and over again, you had DeRozan with those middies, um, and the shots did not fall late in this game like you would have hoped. Um, I brought up his name earlier, but Jake LaRavia, I thought he had a solid game off the bench for the Kings, and also Trey Lyles, they who also had a solid game for the Kings off the bench. You had LaRavia, who at times had to defend Giannis for a period of stretches, and scored 11 points. You had Trey Lyles, who had a tough shooting night tonight, but he still managed, 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists in this ball game. But the Kings, they fall back to 500 in that Western Conference play-in, and their lead for the ninth seed is now a game and a half up on the Phoenix Suns, who have now won, I believe, 3 straight games now, overall. But like the Kings in this game, for the first quarter, 25-17 in the first quarter. Second quarter, 36-32. But again, it was that second half for the Kings that really did them in, especially that fourth quarter. Like Giannis just torched the Kings in that third quarter. And in the rebounding, the Kings, just before we get to the rebounding, the Kings were absolutely dismal from long range tonight. 9 of 38 for just 23%. Milwaukee, who was not hitting those, they are a high volume 3-point shooting team. Milwaukee is 41% for Milwaukee tonight, and they hit some big threes down the stretch in this game, especially in the second half, is when they really got it going. The rebounding, where the Kings absolutely destroyed the Milwaukee in the first half in the rebounding totals. The Kings just won the rebounding total +2 on tonight. And I thought the real advantage the Kings would have had against this Milwaukee team is fast break. I thought they could really, I thought they really could have done a little bit more damage, getting out in transition. The Milwaukee Bucks tonight, 20 fast break points. The Kings only 6 fast break points. But the story of this game, Giannis, just 32 points, 17 rebounds in this game. He took over. And also, besides that fourth quarter for the Kings, where you lost that fourth quarter 28-19, in my opinion, that's where they lost the game. They also lost the game in those non-Giannis minutes. Giannis played the entire first quarter. In that second quarter, before Giannis checked back in, I believe it was the 4:44 mark of the second quarters when he checked back back then, it was a 2-point game. The Kings extended when he checked back in. The Kings extended their lead when he checked back in to 12 going into halftime, and then he played the entire third quarter. That's when Giannis torched Sacramento in this game, and then the fourth quarter in the non-Giannis minutes is when Milwaukee really surged ahead in this game, and also another reason why I believe where the Kings lost this game is those Giannis minutes, and you got to take advantage of those minutes when Giannis is sitting over there on the Milwaukee bench, and the Kings did not do that, and Milwaukee surged ahead because of it. So Kings fall in this game to the Milwaukee Bucks, 114-108, and simply the Kings had no answer for Giannis in this game, and it doesn't get any easier. As coming up next, the Kings have the Boston Celtics on Monday night, and the Celtics, they play Sunday in Portland. So you're catching the Celtics on a second night of a back-to-back. But if you thought that was worse, the Kings, the very next night, after you get the Celtics on Monday night, you got the Oklahoma City Thunder in town on Tuesday night for a second night of a back-to-back before you wrap up this 7-game homestand next Thursday against the Portland Trailblazers. So it doesn't get any easier for the Sacramento Kings. You're 2-2 on this homestand. The Chicago game hurts the most because that is a game that you controlled for most of the game, and then you took your foot off the gas and you let Chicago back in the game. Tonight you played well enough, solid to win, but it's that fourth quarter, the non-Giannis minutes, and just not scoring with 4:24 left in the fourth quarter. The Kings did not hit a single field goal with 4:24 left in the fourth. So Kings back to 500, and if you look at the Western Conference standings, it's ever changing every single day. Kings in ninth. You got the Phoenix Suns. You're a game and a half up on the Suns for that ninth seed. Phoenix in 10th, and then you got the Dallas Mavericks just on the outside in 11th, and then don't let Portland go away. Portland's sitting in 12th, so they won 4 in a row. And Portland, they got the Boston Celtics on Sunday. So, and then you got tonight you got the Lakers losing at home against Chicago. You got the Indiana Pacers who beat the Brooklyn Nets. The Knicks get a much-needed win against the Washington, a team they should beat. And the Atlanta Hawks, they beat the Golden State Warriors, who were without Stephen Curry in that game. And if you look at Sunday's matchups, you got Portland. You want the Celtics to win that game. But if you want to look at the Phoenix Suns, Phoenix, they play this Bucks team Monday. So you want the Bucks to win that game while you are playing the Boston Celtics. So, and let's not forget, the final game of this regular season is Kings and the Suns right here in Sacramento. So that game could mean a whole lot when it comes to the standings for that play-in positioning. So Kings lose. Kings back in action on Monday night against the Boston Celtics. And thanks for tuning in to this recap on our Kings-related podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below in the YouTube comments. That does a whole lot to spread the word of what we're doing over here on Kings related podcast. And if you're listening on your preferred audio platform, Apple, Spotify, please hit that follow button. Rate 5 stars. Leave a nice little review. Be much appreciated. And we'll see you Monday night following Kings and Celtics. And as always, go Kings. And let's see if can we beat the Celtics again. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. So we'll see you Monday night following Kings Celtics right here on our Kings related podcast. Take care, and we'll see you Monday.